Second part of my presentation. So I'm going to talk about product positioning. So product positioning, again you might be thinking it's a technical word. So let me make it simpler for you. Okay. So if I ask you a question like this now, if you want to build a house, what do you do first? Okay, plot of land. Imagine you have a plot of land now. You found the architect course. Then what do you do? Yes, you want to position, but think about don't you want to have a image of what your house is going to look like? Because otherwise you cannot think of ways of how to improve, no? So do you ever heard about something called blueprint?
Yes.
So what does the blueprint tells you? It's like a plan. Yes. So when you look at that plan, you will know how many rooms, what kind of facilities, how it is going to look like, how many storage, outer appearance, will it be nice looking, or after we finish it looks like a block, something like that. So product positioning is exactly like that. Okay? Some might be thinking we position it. Product positioning means exactly like a blueprint for a house. You have an image that how your product is going to look like. But your product is going to be bought by customers, right? So customers will have an image, no? This product should look like this. That is called product position. Okay? So the objectives of the lesson is to explain what positioning is and the three criteria for a good positioning, and identify the three steps to position a product. So as you can see from this slide, you will understand more. Positioning refers to the image you would like the customers to have about your product. Look at the lady's bubble, that what she is thinking. Fanny ice cream is my favorite. Right? It is a fun place for me and my friends. So definitely you have some things, places like that, no? When you go for shopping, you would like to go to relax. Why? Because they provide you some services others are not providing to you. So you like to go, you satisfied when you do that. Okay? So what are the three criteria for good positioning? There are mainly three. Number one, respond to a need that customers highly value. So ice cream, let's talk about ice cream. You just don't want the exact normal ice cream. Maybe you want ice cream, flavor different, maybe you have some sprinkles, toppings, lot of different. It will attract you. Then number two, make sure that you can deliver what you promise. Sometimes people can put the big picture, but when you go, what you get is different. Would you like to go second time? No, because they promise to give you something, but the final product is different. So it is something very important. Number three, differentiate your product from your competitors. Now ice cream here. If you think about ice cream, you have different producers producing. So you have to always find a way to differentiate your product with others. Then they will say, okay, this Ace ice cream is better. It tastes good. It has different flavors. It gives us what they promise. And it's attractive. Okay? So those are the three criteria. And then how to position your product? There are three steps. Step one, learn about your potential customers and competitors. So now we are in the marketing our product, no? So we cannot just put the product. You need to know what your potential customers are asking for and what the competitors are offering. So you need to find something that customers are eagerly waiting for and competitors are not giving that. Okay, step two, segment the market and select your target customers. I'm going to talk about the segments when we come to that one. And then last step, identify the position of your goods or service. So let's look at what are the things. Okay, tell me what are the things you think your customers will look for. What do you think? Okay, let's take an example of Madam's idea of having this preschool. What do you think the customers will look for?
Value for money. For example, the preschool daycares nowadays maybe would be around 2,000 rupees. They bring that to my business, so I need to give them very good educational background. For example, teach them some good lessons, maybe the extracurricular activities, or maybe they're looking for services which are better than the others. But
Now
they are
you see,
paying
let me disturb you for 1 minute. Now you see that you are thinking about competitive aspect also. So immediately she said 2,000 rupees what others are paying. So now your price has to be very attractive. It is competitor's price. So your price has to be value for money.
Yes, definitely.
And even you are comparing what is the other people, how they are giving their education. Maybe you need to find a way, what are the core values you can give, because children are very important.
Definitely.
When you plant them something when they are early stages, it will grow. Okay, then what about you, madam, regarding your cleaning agency? What do you think the customers will look for?
The way you clean, if your place is the office is clean, yes.
Then what about the competitors? What do you
You
think
have to
current
do better than them.
better than this? So how can you do it? You need to find information, right? So if you look at the next slide, you can see potential customers. Which kind of customers you are going to have? Maybe their income level. What is their family background? What product they want, like you are telling. They want specifically education, early childhood, those characteristics, okay? And what price they can pay, we already talked about that. Where they are, it is important because the location of this education center caters the whole area, and the easy access infrastructure is also important. Where they can buy and how often. Now, buying and how often it comes to products, but remember services also has a value. So how you can provide, how much you can cater. Okay, then whether they are happy with current food or service. So you can do a small research thinking, go and ask from these daycares around. Are you happy with the service? Or maybe you have your own experience. And then competitors are there. Who are your competitors? You need to know them. At least you should know what are the closest competitors to you. And then how customers perceive their product. How they look at their product. How their product is delivered and communicated. Again, communication, marketing, part of marketing. Then what makes a competitor stand out from others? Sometimes we say, no, this daycare center or this preschool is better than others. Why? We might look at the people who are going there. Or the social status, there are a lot of things. Friendliness, how they treat their children. Sometimes children comes home and they talk. You don't need to go to their place and get. If your child is already in a daycare center, best way to get ideas. We say children don't lie.
Yes.
We slowly ask from them in a way. What did you eat? What did you do? How did they talk to you? You know, we can get some information. So we say that to get the information, we can use these things. Observe, listen, you can check. How can you check? You can go to internet and all, or you can go and check. Okay? Talk to the people. You can read newspapers, buy experience. So by these modes, you can get what your customers are looking for, as well as you will know what the competitors are delivering. So there are two things you need to consider. You find your way now. You need to be specific. Now segment the market. Now as I said when I started doing the step 2, I said let's talk about the segments after. Okay, what do you mean by a segment? A section, yes. If you think about, if I want to segment you right now, what is the mode or what is the category I can use? Now I have 5 ladies sitting here. I want to segment you for any way. So what can I do? What is the best thing I can do? Huh?
What type of job you do?
You can go with the job,
The likes and
likes and but I will first go with the age. It's the most easiest. I can say 0 to this much and this to this much, 3 categories I put. Then from the age you can divide into subcategories. So that is called segmentation. So it is very important when you deliver a product, you need to segment. Like we were telling that if we take the example of daycare center now. How do you segment your customers? Customers are those children, no? They are coming from different family backgrounds. So for you to charge your cost or charge of the daycare center, you need to segment it. What can you use now? This one will depend on their income level, no? How much they can pay. We can categorize and see the mothers, are they single mothers? Agree with me?
But if we categorize like that, we will run at a loss, maybe. For example, there will be parents earning 6,000 rupees maybe. And there will be some earning 15,000. Will it be fair to make the one earning 15,000 to pay 5,000 and the one earning 6,000 to pay 1,000?
No, it's not fair. But for you to determine your price, first you need to know your customer base. So without segmenting, how do you know how much they earn?
That is the one you're talking about, Brandy.
Sorry?
The one you're talking about, positioning your
Yes.
product. That is what she can do for her business.
Yes.
But it will be something new so that the ones who are not able to pay
Brilliant, yes.
2,000, it will be your strategy for your business.
You cater. This income category, this is my product. This income category, this is my product. You see, it's brilliant idea. That's how we need to improve. But you need to gather all the information. I'm not telling you to do 15,000 and above 30,000 sale. But for you to come to a fair age, not all the people have the same income. Then again, we can go with the educational background of the parents. Okay? And then the age of the kids. Because sometimes some people just at the beginning, like after 3 months, they want to come. Some parents doesn't want their kids to be like at the small age, maybe after 1 year. So the activities for them has to be differentiated, no? If you put all the kids together, they are at the end of the day, no one is going to improve. Like you can segment them according to their age, different services, yes. So you can see that who are they, what benefit they are looking for, how do they buy or use the product. So you can segment them according to this. So if you look, open your eyes and see, different segments are available everywhere. You need to find where your target group is. Without that you cannot make a profitable business. Okay? And then after this, now example. They have given you an example of stuffed toys. You know those teddy bears and all. Look how they are segmenting. Segment A. Who are they? Housewives with kids below 8, low income, low education. What benefit? Toys for kids, functional, colorful and kids enjoy playing with the competitive price. How they buy? Compare and go for the lowest prices. Do not care much about safety standards and educational effects. Same thing applies to customers like that when you categorize them. Number 2, second category, working women with kids below 8, middle class, well educated. Toys for their kids, educational effects from playing with the toys safe. Concern about ingredients, countries of origin, instructions for use, safety standard, play the toys together with their kids and look for educational effect. And then the last category, women's below 8, wealthy, well educated. Toys for their kids, something unique that makes them feel proud because only their kids have. Look for high price products only, shop in high-end shopping malls or boutique shops. So do you think if you just produce a teddy bear and put it in the market, those all 3 levels are going to come and get it? No. So this example clearly tells you what are the people are looking for. So if you target your segment A, you don't need to have a unique features, very expensive. What are they looking for? Toys for their kids, functional, colorful. That's it. Any teddy bear will make, because for that child I need a stuffed toy, a teddy bear. But then the middle class, most of the time middle class people think about this education. They talk about education. So they might be thinking, okay, teddy bear. Can this teddy bear do something educational? Can the teddy bear do a recording, singing, counting or something like that? You can use it for some other purpose. Then the third class, it's the most funniest class. Toys for kids, something unique that makes them feel proud because only their kids have. So every business, every product are like that. Some customers will not go and buy your ordinary product. Think about the phones nowadays. Some people will buy a phone to make them proud that when others are looking at them, I have this. It's only I have it. Okay, so it is very important that which segment you are looking for. Then identify segments with unmet need. So what do you mean by unmet need? Safer toys at competitive price, clear advice from sellers on educational impact and safety, unique personalized toys. So pick the segment that you can serve well, the unmet need. So for me, I am definitely going for unique personalized toys. Because if you look at the segments, those are the people who wanted to pay more. Like a tailor-made, you come custom design. You give your idea, I'll do it for you. Then the price will be, you can charge your price. Okay, so it is very important that these are the 3 steps you need to follow. Then finally you need to assess the size of the segment. Is the segment large enough to make a profit? Will customer base increase in the future? Now you position your product. Again, we are coming to the 3 things we discussed earlier. You need to respond to a need that customers highly value. Make sure that you can deliver what you promise. And then differentiate your product from your competitors if you want to make a profit. Okay, so any questions? So the 2 ladies planning the future businesswoman, I hope you get an idea so that when you come to segmentation and position your product, you need to position well so that it will survive in the long run. Okay, anything you want to tell? Okay, so thank you for listening. We'll see in another session soon.